So too many people start training a dog like this the wrong way. They want to hyper fixate on obedience because he is explosive and reactive. They want to fixate on obedience to try to get that under wraps. They want to fixate on corrections to get him to stop doing all of that sort of stuff. But the most important part that they're skipping is that the first step is you have to prepare the dog's brain for learning. When the dog is stuck in fight or flight and they are constantly in defense, they're not prepared to learn. You can push all this information in, but you're just kind of putting a cap on fight or flight. And we don't have this dog that's understanding what it is that you're asking them to do. And you're asking them to feel more comfortable around their specific triggers. And jumping into too much obedience training and all this other sort of stuff too quickly will wind up almost giving a false positive and then having more reactivity, aggression later on. And you hear about that, but you don't really quite understand what's going on. So when I talk about preparing the dog for learning, one, I've got to cultivate a great relationship. Two, I've got to get him out of defense drive, which is his fight or flight response. I have to start moving him into play. I have to start moving him in pack drive where he wants to move with me and cooperate with me before I ever tell him that his choices are not good. Before I ever try to convince him that there are better choices out there, I have to prepare his mind to absorb that information. Otherwise, it's going to be hitting a brick wall. That's why people have so much trouble with his obedience, with obedience in general. With him, obedience is going to be my very last thing that I cover. It's not going to have anything to do with the rehab or changing the way that he perceives the world. And when I finally do address obedience, because I will have prepared the mind correctly and I will have changed his perception of the world, he'll learn it like that. And I won't have any pushback once I finally decide to teach it to him. But right now, it's all about getting him ready to absorb the information that I'm going to give him and creating such a relationship that he's going to want to take my opinion into consideration next time he goes into a struggling situation.